Oh no. Hey YouTube, it's me Robin. I dropping my mic and everything else. So, hi. I wanted to come to you today and I wanted to make this video about something that's so important to me, and that's overcoming fear. I think that in life, a lot of times we have these fears that stop us from doing so many things. I know in my life, over the course of my life, I've always feared something. I feared failure. I feared succeeding. I just feared everything. I feared what would happen if I make it? Well, what would happen if I don't make it? Or what would happen if this person meets me and I'm not what they expect? Or what happens if I get out of this situation? Or, I've just, it's gone from one thing to another thing to another thing to another thing. And never did I realize that I was being fearful. I thought I was being cautious. I've even said I have OCD like behavior. I kept it like, oh, it's funny, I just have OCD, but there's nothing funny about being fearful of everything. There's nothing funny about being fearful of majority of things. We are really not put here to just be scared of everything. I believe that fear, and I read this in a book, that fear, that its purpose um was to elicit a certain response in us. So if you're in a jungle and you come upon a tiger, the fear is supposed to elicit the adrenaline flowing in your body, and then you're supposed to react to that situation. And the problem is that we sometimes never stop being fearful. The situation is past, and now we're fearful of every situation. We don't recognize that we beat that situation, that we ran, that we won. We just go into the next fear, and then fear takes over our whole lives. People, certain things happen to people, and they're still alive after it, but then they don't want to leave their house, or they don't want to go where they once went. They don't want to do the things that they once enjoyed because there's now a fear placed there. We've conditioned ourselves to be fearful of everything. And I've lived like that for a long time. I had a fear of not getting straight A's in school. So now I would take semesters off, like, oh well, there's just too much going on, and I might not get straight A's. But I didn't get any credits for those semesters. So even if I didn't get straight A's, I still would have gotten the credits. I got nothing. I had fears of leaving my relationship. I knew it was not healthy for me. I knew it was not. It wasn't helpful to me. It was hurting me. But I feared what would happen if I left. Like, if I leave, well, what am I going to do? How am I going to raise my children? So I had this fear, and that kept me in a situation that was not positive for me. That kept me down. That kept me depressed. It kept me immobilized. I feel like I had a disease for years. Fear to me is a debilitating disease. You have it, and it's very hard to get rid of it. So you have this disease, and nobody believes that there's a cure for it, and you're just stuck with it. So you don't want to do things that you feel like is in you to do, because what if? What if I don't make it? What if I don't succeed? What if, what if, what if? But what if you do? What if you do? What if we change our thinking and think positively instead of negatively? What if we stop seeing the world as this dangerous, scary, ridiculous place that we're not really a part of? What if we step outside on faith and just walk into our destiny? What if we do? I think it's very important that we stop allowing ourselves to get caught up in the fear of every situation. Fear fear is not meant to run our lives. I had to with my relationship that I left, I had to break up with the other thing I was with, which was fear. We broke up. We're no longer together. It wasn't an amicable separation, and it got very ugly. And I wondered every now and then if I still needed it, and I wanted to call fear up and try again. You know, Sometimes I still go back into it and think about times that weren't so unbearable. But I'm coming along now. I mean, really, we have to, all jokes aside, we have to leave fear out of our lives. Fear should not take over. Fear should not have room to control what we do, how we do it, when we do it, where we do it, and whether or not we do it. The thing about life is that we have to continuously move. We live on this earth, right? And the earth is constantly moving. I believe that's the same thing that we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be constantly moving. Well, what happens if the earth is scared to move? You get what I'm saying? Like, we have to beat all that stuff out. This is all our thoughts. Aren't we bigger than our thoughts? Aren't we better than our thoughts? Aren't we better than these things we call emotions? Aren't we bigger than our emotions? Don't we control them? They don't control us. That's how I believe it's supposed to be. We can't keep sitting here living in what might happen, or what if I'm not going to get on this plane because what if the plane crashes? Well, if the plane crashes, the plane crashes. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but I don't want to not get to where I'm going because I'm scared about the plane crashing. I don't want to not succeed in anything because I'm scared of failing. I don't want to not do it because I'm scared of what happens if I don't. Scared never does anything. I have to tell you, on paper right now, everything I'm doing looks crazy to a lot of people I know. I have registered for 7 breast cancer walks, each over 40 miles. 3 of them are 3 days apiece. 2 of them, or 3 of them, are 2 days apiece. 40, 60 miles. I have agreed to raise over $10,000 in money for breast cancer research. I have never, oh, and they're all in different random states. I have never in my life walked this many breast cancer walks. I walked 1 breast cancer walk last year and it was 3 miles. I have never done this before. I haven't written, really sat down and written since I was in grade school. I had a fear that people weren't going to like the things I wrote, so I stopped writing. I've decided I'm writing my book. I've been actively writing my book. I have no idea what the end is going to be, but I'm writing it anyway. And I may never make the bestsellers list, but what if I do? What if I do? I have a full credit course load this semester, and people are like, why are you doing that? You know, you have so much going on. That's just too much for you. It's not too much for me. It's too much for me when I tell myself it's too much for me. I still have children that I'm raising. I am a single mother. It's not too much for me until I say it's too much for me. And I don't say that. My take on life is that we're here and we have seconds. We have seconds upon seconds upon seconds that turn into moments, that turn into lifetimes. I don't know when my time is ending here, but I am going to ride it out. I was not put here to be average, and I believe that the average person sits immobilized, not doing. We have to do better, and I'm not talking about we as a people of a particular race. I'm talking about we as people that live on this planet. We have to stop allowing fear to overcome and overtake us and consume us, and we have to stop being scared to fail, because the true winning is in trying. We can't be scared to fail because there's learning in it. It teaches us how to do better the next time. We have to stop being so frightened of everything that we don't know and do it anyway. Walk into it anyway. With everything that's in us, do it 100%. You tried your best, and that really is better than not doing anything at all. I got nothing out of the years I sat around and never did anything. I've gotten so much out of these few months that I've decided to put my goals down on paper, to walk into my destiny, to keep going even when it looks like everything around me is falling apart and I don't know how I'm going to do it. When I have to stay up late at night and try anyway, I've gotten so much more out of that than I've gotten over years of doing nothing. And so I want to encourage you and tell you I love you, and please join me, do better than me. Make this the best moment of your life, and then keep those moments going. But don't let fear become your relationship, become your end. I love you. Mwah. Bye.